Have you ever looked at a giant, ancient tree and thought about how long it's been on this planet? What if I told you that sharks, the incredible predators of our oceans, have been around even longer? It sounds crazy, right? But it's true. Sharks are older than trees. Let's rewind the clock way back. Imagine we're traveling through Earth's history. We pass the dinosaurs, we go past the first reptiles, all the way back to about 400 million years ago. In the ancient oceans of the Devonian period, the very first sharks began to swim. These weren't the great whites we know today, but their ancestors, pioneering a new way of life in the deep. They were some of the first creatures to have jaws and a skeleton made of cartilage, a revolutionary design that has stood the test of time. How do we know this? The answer lies buried in rock. Paleontologists have unearthed incredible fossils that paint a picture of these early sharks. We found fossilized teeth, fin spines, and even skin impressions. These fossils reveal a whole family of ancient sharks, like the Cladoslake, a streamlined hunter with a forked tail, or the Stethecanthus, famous for its bizarre, brush-like dorsal fin. These fossils are like time capsules, giving us a direct window into a world that existed long before many other familiar forms of life. They tell a story of evolution and survival that began in an alien-looking ocean. Now, let's fast forward just a little bit, about 50 million years. That's when something new appeared on land. The first true trees began to take root. Around 350 million years ago, plants like Archaeopteris developed woody trunks and complex root systems, forming the very first forests. So for a staggering 50 million years, sharks were gliding through the oceans while the land was still waiting for its first forests to grow. That is a longer time span than the gap between the extinction of the dinosaurs and the appearance of modern humans. Think about what has happened since then. Our planet has been through at least 5 major mass extinction events. The Great Dying, which wiped out over 90% of marine species. The asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. Cataclysmic volcanic eruptions, ice ages, and dramatic shifts in climate. Through all of this chaos and change, sharks survived. They adapted, they evolved, and they continued to thrive in the oceans while countless other species vanished forever. They are the ultimate survivors, a dynasty that has reigned in the seas for nearly 500 million years. So what's their secret? What makes sharks such perfect survival machines? A lot of it comes down to their incredible anatomy. Their skeletons are made of lightweight, flexible cartilage, not heavy bone. This allows them to be agile and save energy. Their skin is covered in dermal denticles, tiny tooth-like scales that reduce drag and help them swim silently and efficiently. They have a powerful sense of smell, able to detect a single drop of blood in an Olympic-sized swimming pool. And let's not forget their electroreception, a sixth sense that allows them to detect the faint electrical fields of other living creatures. It's like having a built-in GPS for finding prey. Let's picture the world these early sharks inhabited. The prehistoric seas were a very different place. There were giant sea scorpions, armored fish, and massive ammonites. And ruling over this primordial soup were the sharks. They were the apex predators of their time, shaping the marine ecosystems around them. For millions of years, they patrolled these ancient waters, honing their skills and perfecting their design. They were the original kings of the ocean, a title they have arguably held ever since. One of the most mind-blowing things about sharks is how little they've changed. If you put a fossil of an ancient shark next to a modern one, you'd be surprised by the similarities. The classic torpedo-shaped body, the sharp fins, the powerful tail, the basic blueprint was perfected hundreds of millions of years ago. While they've diversified into hundreds of species, from the tiny dwarf lantern shark to the massive whale shark, the fundamental design has remained constant. It's a perfect example of the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Evolution got it right the first time. So let's just recap the key takeaway here. When you think of ancient life, you might picture towering dinosaurs or vast, primeval forests. But before those forests ever existed, sharks were already ancient. For 50 million years, sharks patrolled the oceans of our planet, long before the first trees stretched their branches towards the sky. They are living fossils, a testament to the power of adaptation and the enduring legacy of one of nature's most perfect creations. The next time you see a shark, whether in an aquarium or a documentary, remember you're not just looking at an animal, you're looking at a survivor. A creature whose lineage stretches back further than the mountains, further than the forests, into the deep, dark abyss of prehistoric time. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the history of sharks. If you found this as fascinating as I do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures into the wonders of our natural world. See you next time.